Hey, it is Saturday morning at about 4:30 in the morning. This is my third video diary entry of the trip. I'm sitting here in the middle of my room in the Muryokin Temple, Shikobu. Um, and I'm up this early because at 6 a.m. in about an hour and a half, I will be participating in a 90-minute Buddhist ceremony. Meditation, I think, is involved. There's some fire burning. I don't really know the full extent to it. Um, the monks here don't speak any English at all. Um, so I've had to use as much of my Japanese as possible. It's gotten me, it's gotten me somewhere. There have been a lot of hand pointing and a lot of kind of charades, which thankfully I'm really good at thanks to 18 years in the Brown household. But nonetheless, I'm here, and I shot some video yesterday and took some pictures that kind of show what this temple is all about. So yesterday was, at least for me so far, my most favorite day. Um, so I got up at around 6:45, 7ish, after staying up the night before, putting together that photo album, which is now on Facebook. It's totally disorganized, and I have no idea how to use it, but either way. I got up, packed up, had breakfast again the um, at the hostel, which again was not very good. I actually heard my roommate leave at 5:45 in the morning, because again this I guess he's just looking for work. So apparently he just took off and went to another city. So I got up, packed, went to the Nankai Nimba station in Osaka, and got myself what's called a World Heritage ticket to Koyasan, which got me a round trip ticket to and from Osaka, plus discounted admission to a number of different places here in Koyasan. Took the train up, which was exhilarating as far as I'm concerned, just because we literally went from Osaka, which is this huge industrial city, to going through these remote parts of Wakayama, which is to the south of Osaka. I think it's to the south of Osaka. And essentially taking me through hills and up to the mountains that are right nearby. And so the train was kind of creaking around through forests, through hills, literally through mountains, under tunnels. So it was pretty cool. That took about an hour and 40 minutes or so. And then I arrived at, I forget the name of the station. It starts with a G, Goya Shikura, I think it is, where I then took a cable car up a mountain. And so I guess they call it a cable car here. It's really called a funicular railway. I think I'm saying it right. Where you essentially I was sitting down, and the cable car was attached to two pulleys, and one was taking us up about a few kilometers, all the way up the mountain. And so ended up at Koyasen, which is at a relatively high point in the mountains, so some beautiful scenery shots. It was snowing, which was kind of amazing, considering I didn't realize how much the temperature difference was between the plains and up on the mountain. It's about 5 degrees Celsius colder. So I'm sitting in my room right now, which is being heat. There's a huge space heater here, but if you go outside, it literally, I mean, it's below freezing. I checked yesterday at like 6, and it said it was something like -2 degrees Celsius, just to give you an idea of how cold it is here, versus it was about 40 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit in Osaka. So I got here, dropped my luggage off at the temple, and then did some sightseeing. And so I first did everything by foot. It's a really small town here. There's about 3,000 people here. Again, most not speaking any English at all. So I went to first. I went to where essentially Japanese Japanese Buddhism, Shingon Buddhism started. First went to, I guess you can call it their administrative offices, but it's where the head of the Buddhist community here resided. And so I got some footage of that as well, and got to see a lot of different rooms, very similar to this, where they have, and I'm going to show this to you. They have these walls, and around with some beautiful pictures on this. I don't really know how old this is per se. I'll show you the rest of the room. But the ones that were at this place were about 500 years old, and there were those in each room, including one where apparently some very popular head of the school here about 400 years ago killed himself. And apparently the ritual suicide was through disembowelment, which I find horrifically disgusting. So anyways, so finished that, and then I walked over to, I think it's called the Daimon, I can't remember, I don't have the guidebook in front of me, but this was where all the Buddhists in the area, and basically where all the pilgrims who come to Koyasen to pray, where they all go. And so there's about 10 or 11 different old temples dating back to 1200, and one of which is the main one where everybody goes. And the building and the architecture is pretty amazing. So ended there, then walked to the westernmost gate, which is a gate that those who come by car, and I guess traditionally how people came up to Koyasen, what they would see before entering the community. Then doubled back, went to get some lunch at the small rice specialist. Not rice specialist. It's more like a udon, katsudon specialist, and had some katsudon, which is rice with a fried pork cutlet over it, which I thought was really good. And then went back, checked into the hotel, checked into the temple at about 3, and then headed the other way to this place called Okoyunin. I think that's the way you say it, where it's a graveyard that stretches about, I think, 3 or 4 kilometers of the graves of many famous religious figures, political figures, and military figures here in Japan. And I got some great video footage of kind of looking at that as I was walking up and back, particularly around dusk, where I thought it was beautiful. I got lost a little bit, ended up almost on the highway, but then I doubled back. I get lost every day here. It just seems to be seems to be the course, but I luckily have given myself enough time and leeway to get back on track and still get to see what I want to see. So I ended up at this place called the House of Lanterns, the Lantern House, which is filled with hundreds of lanterns, and it is in front of the mausoleum where the guy who founded Koyasen is supposedly to be buried. There's a mausoleum there. And then I did some walking around. So I did that, and you can hear that. I guess the monks are up now. I came back, came here to do dinner. So where dinner was served literally right here. Dinner was served right here. They had food. They had vegetarian delicacies, and I guess what they typically eat here every day over here. And then I ate, and then literally I tried to take a Japanese bath, which was a disaster. if you don't know what a Japanese bath is, essentially you bathe yourself. You bathe yourself kind of. It's kind of like a shower, only it's like a communal shower, but nobody else is here, thank God. But then once you've showered, you then move into a incredibly hot, for lack of better words, bathtub. It's not a bathtub; it's like this bathing area. And so if I had chosen to go to what's called an onsen, this is what those onsens would look like, where it's literally just this huge pool of really hot water that people go into after they bathe. I tried it. It was hot as hell. I just couldn't do it. And then I just was completely embarrassed because I was scampering around this room like, a chicken with its head cut off. So that ended pretty quickly. Came back here. It got really cold, so I just stayed in the room. They shut the gate, and then I went to sleep at like 8ish or so. And then I got up when the monks got up. So that was yesterday. I can't wait to show you guys the footage and the pictures. Oh yeah, and also there's about 70 temples here, all of which look amazing from the outside. I'm sure they look the same in. I can't take video footage of kind of the insides here, but I could get the outsides of a lot of different places. So anyways, I really enjoyed today, or excuse me, yesterday. We'll see what today has in store. I have this Buddhist ceremony and breakfast in the morning, and then I take off for Nara. So that's going to be about a couple-hour journey, and then I'll be in Nara. So until then, I will talk to you guys later.